Please subscribe to Facetv Africa and turn the notification on. Facetv Africa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, subscribe, hete.
Facetv Muswobi.
Yes, good day everybody that is watching us all over the world. This is Facetv Africa, and I really thank all our fans for watching our program and for the comments. Thank you so much. We really appreciate. Please keep subscribing to our YouTube channel and all our platforms. Thank you. Nǹkan tá fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé is basically on fake news. Torí tá bá wò ní àná àbí ìjẹta rumor kan jáde wípé wọ́n kidnap Buhari ọmọ Musa. Buhari ọmọ Musa jáde ó sọ̀rọ̀ ní ìfẹ́ dárúkọ èèyàn tó ń ṣe program lórí kíní ẹ̀ tó ní ní ṣe program lórí ẹ̀ ni. That is why you have to verify information before you disseminate, because most of our èèyàn tọ́bàkọ̀ ti gbọ́ any news from nowhere wọn ò ní láti wọn ò ní ṣe investigation rárá, wọ́n kò dédé jáde wọ́n lè gbé ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, and that is also part of our problem. I'm just saying this to my colleagues in industry. Let us verify the information before ká tó di pé and disseminate information tabarigba. Torí most of false information ló wà dancing. Ẹlòmíì kọ́ lè dédé even on the right up. Ẹlòmíì kọ́ lè dédé kókó lè dédé ronú pòkè afẹ́ mi sọ pé atánìṣí méje ni báwo la ṣe lè build right up kan ọmọ àwa sẹ́yìn díẹ̀. Àwọn kan á bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í ṣí ẹ̀ wọ́n lè ti lọ mú àwọn pictures tó relevant mọ́yẹ. But èyí tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Buhari ọmọ Musa yìí ìyẹn to me mo lè sọ wípé mistake ni pẹ̀lú ẹni tó ṣe program lórí ẹ̀yẹn. Torí no matter how tí orí ìṣiṣẹ́ rẹ̀ bá jáde o ní influence láti pe ẹni yìí àbí o ní influence láti pe àwọn tó súnmọ́ ẹni yìí débi pé wàá tún ṣe program jáde no now. So a ní láti wà very careful lórí àwọn information tá à pass through. Now Buhari ọmọ Musa ti jáde ó sọ pé wọ́n kidnap òun ó ń ṣépè, and to me ṣe rí àwọn àfáà kan ń gbà mí fine, you can come out and say your own opinion about it. Wọ́n kidnap mi o, wọ́n ṣe kíní kan o, àfáà la pè yín. Nílò láti wá máa sọ wípé olórí burúkú ni wọ́n kíní kan ní no. Wọ́n ò gbọ́dọ̀ bá àwọn àfáà lórí position bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Àfáà ò kì í ṣe wé, because nígbà tí mo wo fídíò yẹn lánàá I was like báwo ni àwọn àfáà ṣe máa ń ṣe báyìí. Now o lè jáde àwọn èèyàn lè gbé information because orúkọ ẹni tí wọ́n kidnap ó papọ̀ mọ́ orúkọ ẹ díẹ̀ lọ́pàá tó fi rò pé ìwòye Buhari ọmọ Musa ni wọ́n kidnap. Màá fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ẹ kó bọ́dà ìdílé because àwọn èèyàn kan máa wò bóyá ká àwọn èèyàn kan máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ sọ́wọ́ àfa àbí nǹkan kan. Màá fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ẹ wo fídíò Buhari ọmọ Musa fún ara ẹ̀ níbi tí ó ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀wọ̀n kidnap tó ṣe pé ìyẹn lèmi condemn. Mi ò ní kó má jáde kó má sọ mind ẹ̀ lórí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ àlùbí lórí false information tó gbé jáde. Ọtí ọba wa ti wá jáde tó wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í sọ àwọn tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í ṣépè òní ibẹ̀ ẹni Ọlọ́run wa pè ẹ́. So tó bá wá ń ṣépè yẹn kí ni ẹgbọ́ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀.
Ẹ dákun à ń gbọ́ kinní kan ni àwa ní ká béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín gbèsè bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lórí.
Kí tún ni o.
Láti nǹkan bí ìjẹni láti ń gbọ́ wípé wọ́n jí ọ̀tá yín gbé lọ́sàn-án yìí la tún wá ń rí lórí Facebook.
Ìyálàyà wọn ni wọ́n jí gbé. Orúkọ tèmi ni Alhaji Buhari Musa Ajikobi Wan Asadu Dawa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ń bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ yìí mo ṣe kúrò ní wàásí lọ́dọ̀ Bọ́lájí ní opposite FGC nílọrin bíbáyìí. Àná mo wà ní Àgbàrẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ Jamiu tí bàbá wa Alhaji àgbà. Mo kú òǹbẹ̀ mo lọ sí ilé ẹlẹ́ran nílé òkè nídàájú kọ́lé àáfàá wa àgbà ilé ewu ọlọ́mọba akẹ́ wọn. Níbo wọ́n ti á jí mi gbé èmi ni mò ń ṣe wáàsí káàkiri ayé yìí. Mo wà lóṣogbo oúnjẹ rin èmi ni mo wà ní làǹlàǹtẹ̀ ní nǹkan bí ìjẹjọ tọ́ mo sì wà ní Adó Èkìtì ní nǹkan bí ìjẹwàá. So níbo wọ́n ti jí mi gbé tí wọ́n ní wọ́n jí ìyálàyà àwọn gbé. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ bá ti fi owó sérí àkáǹtì wọn ẹ ṣe sàká ni o, ẹ yọ sàká tí ò ní ládàá ni o. èmi ọmọ Musa ní ẹnìkan kan ò gbé mi ẹni tí wọ́n gbé orúkọ ẹ̀ ń jẹ́ Muhammad Buhari Muhammad Jamiu wọ́n sì ti jùúlẹ̀ lókolówó wa ń bí wọ́n ti gbé èmi Buhari Musa tèmi ẹnìkan kan ò gbé mi o mo wà lálàáfíà mo wà pẹ̀lú àwọn èèyàn mi àti ẹ̀túnká wá sí báyìí mò ń wọnú ilé mi lọ nìyẹn ẹni ẹ bá ti ra àkáǹtì kan tí wọ́n fi pé àkáǹtì ní ẹ máa fowó sí ó lè ní wọ́n fẹ́ jalè ní ngbòsèpó lè níwọ̀n èbí wọn àtọ́ ó lè níwọ̀n èbí wọn ntọ́lọ́run ní káwọn máa jẹ kí àràmù tọ́lọ́run wọn máa jẹ kínu lérí ẹni ẹlọ́run bá ti ní wọn ó rí jẹ Buhari Musa is on the line èmi lẹ̀ ń wò live and direct báyìí ẹnìkan ò gbé mi o ẹ má fi owó sínú àkáǹtì ẹnìkan kan mo sì parí lecture tán nísìnyí ni assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
ṣé ẹ ti rí fídíò tí mo so kò ń ṣe pé bóyá a kò dẹ̀mẹ̀ pé kí ló tó ṣe jáde torí ẹni mọ̀ ní ọ̀gbẹ́ àti kó má bọ́ta nínú òun ní kó má bọ́ta but kò ní láti ṣépè bí ẹ lé ara ni but wọ́n tó bá ti lè fún ara ní position kan pé position tí mo fẹ́ wà nílé wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ rí àwọn qualities kankan mọ́ ẹ lára gẹ́gẹ́ bí position tó wà ìyẹn lè ní sọ ẹni ọlọ́run kò ń ṣépè so wọ́n kidnap àwọn Musa kidnap ẹ̀rọ ṣe kíní kan ẹ̀tọ́ ni kó jáde kó jẹ́ káwọn fans ẹ̀ mọ̀ pé wọ́n kidnap mi o but kó wọ́n máa ṣépè ìyẹn lè ní sọ pé kò wá òkè ìyẹn ló yẹ kí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ sí àwọn something came up I think it was yesterday àwọn ọlọ́pàá wọ́n ṣe àwọn programs kan nípa fake news for those people disseminating false information because firstly we have to be sincere to ourselves. A lot of false information is around there. Everybody just, you just one of the corner of your room, do write up and send it out. I think this is unfair. False information cause so many things. False information can cause war in a country. So we journalists, we press, we have to do something about it. Verify any information you want to disseminate. That thing is very mandatory. You can't just hear any information or write any information and disseminate it out without verifying it. At least ní evidence kan àbí méjì láti back it up. But a lot of people when journalists say níbo ìwà yẹn wọ́n máa kọ̀ nǹkan tó máa kọ̀ ṣe ni pé tó bá kọ̀ sí information by the next time máa ṣe ni pé wọ́n send it out. Kò sẹ́ni tó ṣẹlẹ̀ rí èmi tí mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi rí. That's why tí máa ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn pé tí o bá ṣe mistake ẹ má sáré conclude lórí pé èèyàn tó dání torí kan tá à ń sọ ìwọ kò sẹ́ni tó lè ṣe. Èmi tí mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí mo ti ṣe rí tí wọ́n ti bá mi rí. So àwọn tó ń ṣe é sìn some people are using this to get viewers. Some people are using it láti go viral. Ẹlẹ́nu mi ìdórí YouTube yẹn pé ó lè sọ wípé Tinubu wọ́n hospitalize ẹ̀ wọ́n wá lọ crop picture wọ́n á gbélé lórí bed. All this thing is unfair. You can't say because you want people to see your video or you want to trend, you start gathering some useless information to disseminate. This thing can cause war, can cause so many things. So on that yesterday we went to police headquarters láti lọ ṣe àwọn interview àti láti wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn fake news. Mo fẹ́ yẹ ká wo díẹ̀ nínú àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ because I want people to benefit from this thing, to be sincere, because gbogbo apáráta ni a ní láti learn. Our police, they are trying their possible best but wọ́n ò ṣe tóbi lè parọ́ yẹn because ibi tí wọ́n kù sí pọ̀ and they have to do so many things to brand the face of police. Our security, they still have to do so many things about it because I don't know the reason why people will protest and you start shooting live bullets. I don't understand some àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n recruit for police sísìn because I don't understand tí àwọn èèyàn lè jáde pé we have police that can protect us. Police, you are meant to protect, not to kill the citizen. Even criminal, you can't kill criminal anyhow. So àwọn ọlọ́pàá ń gbìyànjú, they are trying their possible best but a lot of things wà tí wọ́n ní láti ṣe to amend, to change the face, because a lot of people don't see the mentality if I see police I have to run, if I see police they can shoot me. So you people need to rebrand the face of police, the face of our security, DSS, EFCC, all of them. But I want us to watch the video. Kẹ́gbọ́n àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ káwa náà kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ fake news tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀.
Again, Alex Gempa defined fake news as deliberate presentation, mark the word, deliberate presentation of typical false or misleading claims as news, where the claims are misleading by design. National Endowment for Democracy defined fake news as misleading content found on the internet, especially on the social media. Most of these contents are produced for profit. Most of the fake news are produced for profit. Its motives are usually financial, sometimes not political. The Nigerian Broadcasting Code 6th edition 2019 defined fake news as a deliberate misinformation or hoaxes spread via traditional broadcast media or social media. And the purpose is to tarnish, destroy, or malign a political opponent in order to make the electorate hate the politician by not voting such a person in an election. However, the repercussion of this may not be ascertained, as anything could happen, especially when supporters of such a candidate decides to take law into their hands. It can lead to political thuggery, destruction of lives and property. See what is happening in some eastern states, which has been described as politically motivated. Governor Uzodinma, while addressing stakeholders at town hall meeting. Fake news, therefore, is a deliberate propaganda intentionally purported by some people or an individual with the intention to undermine others or mar a process like the election. Fake news, also known as misinformation, undoubtedly possesses a threat to national security. It is a form of misconception in order to put target individual in bad light. This could make people's perception about that individual or political choice in bad light. Sometimes this leads to political conflict or thuggery. Fake news could misinform the public to have the impression that the election is skewed and rigged in favor of a particular candidate, and consequently affects the credibility of such an election. With the widespread of fake news, people began to lose confidence in the electoral process. Of recent, a particular national broadcast house media disseminated a fake news about a particular candidate of a particular political party, claiming the news came from INEC, and immediately INEC came out to refuse such claim. The media house was in a hurry, without proper investigation and verification from the relevant authority, and went on air with such misleading information. The broadcast media has to be sanctioned by the National Broadcasting Commission. It's worthy to note that with such development, the integrity of such a station is at stake. It stands to lose its audience and patronage by the public. People will begin to doubt what comes out of that station, whether it is true or false.
I want to bring, just like the introduction was made, I'm representing the DG SSS. I want to bring the topic as you have rightly seen on the our contribution, the agency's contribution towards this topic. Now, I want to read as I've been given the mandate to do that. Gentlemen of the press, I bring you all greetings from the Director General, State Service. The end game of this symposium is to partner with the media towards sensitizing the public on the implication of fake news on security, especially ahead of the 2023 general election. As the gatekeeper of information and the fourth essence of the realm, you are regarded as a major stakeholder in mitigating the spread of fake news in our society. We thank each and every one of you for honoring the invitation. Nigeria has successfully witnessed about a decade of uninterrupted democratic dispensation. This is regardless of contemporary security challenges faced by the country. The forthcoming general election is another opportunity for Nigeria to decide its leader for the next 4 years. We should be mindful of hostile elements who may like to delay the democratic process or influence it to suit their selfish goals. It is with every election some hostile groups or individuals peddling malicious information and attempt to whip up sentiment, cause voter apathy, and instigate members of the public against the government or its agency, including the Independent National Electoral Commission, security agencies, and the public office holders. Circulation of fake news, especially ahead of the general election, will promote fear among members of the public, disunity along various ethnic, political, and socio-economic divides, lack of confidence in the government, and the instruments of democracy. It is also an avenue for subversive groups and criminal elements to capitalize on the fear created from fake news to perpetrate heinous acts inimical to national security. It is in the interest of Nigeria that journalists are admonished to thoroughly scrutinize information before circulating to the public. We are also enjoined to work with security agencies to discredit any information complained to be unfounded and false. As a service, we will continue to partner with the press, the police, and security and other security agencies and law-abiding citizens to preserve our growing democracy. Let us be mindful that peace and security of our country is the responsibility of everyone.
I want to officially remind the media houses, the media operators, the journalists, that you are stakeholders in the business of governance. You are stakeholders in governing Nigeria. You are stakeholders in making sure that Nigeria as a whole, our country, is ever peaceful. Having said that, I will need to remind you about some of your professional ethics as journalists, as hinted by MBS reps, and that is the issue of evaluating the information that you dish out to the public. I said to you before you begin to churn out that news, I commend you to stop first. As you stop, take an evaluation or a closer scrutiny of the content of the news you desire to churn out. As you stop and scrutinize, the next thing you should ask yourself is, how am I sure that this news is real? In other words, investigate the source of your news. I was listening to a national television few days back or weeks back when the incident happened at Aja. And the analysts, some of the journalists that were seated in that program was giving fake information to the public about the police officers that was arrested. And some of them were saying that even the accused has also been discharged. I was perplexed and I had to call the PBR and say, listen, what's going on? This is what I just heard. Until he gave me the true picture of what had transpired. So what am I saying? Investigate the source. Make sure your source is real. And number 3, check your claims. Whatever you are turning out there in the public, check your claims. Are they real?
So, talking about fake news. Fake news, everybody have found it. I'm not going to go into defining fake news. And I was so happy when the INEC chairman, the NBC man, talked about the work that CDD we are doing on issues of fact-checking and also briefs, knowledge products on this area. Fake news, 6 years ago, nobody was talking about fake news. But fake news is not new. It has been in Nigeria. During the Civil War, parties used what we call propaganda. Even currently, Russia is using propaganda. So fake news is here. There are people that use propaganda from the Biafra side and the Nigerian side. Those of, we read in history, the man called Musa. And there are people who call radio without what? Battery. So these things exist. Maybe you hear somebody, radio without battery, you have come again. Really, you don't trust the source of what that person is saying. So what is the difference today with fake news? Because people see it as fake news. What are those components of fake news? I'm going to say that fake news has been here, I've talked about it. It's in two forms, as other speakers said. The disinformation and the misinformation. The disinformation is done with intent to manipulate people's opinion and gain advantage, whereas the misinformation is done with no intention. It's tied to either lack of knowledge. So these are the two sides of fake news. So talking about where is this fake news? Fake news is on the social media, it's everywhere. People spread it with their mouth, people write letters, people use social media, people use even the main traditional media. And I'm happy that the media are here. Last year, in November and in December, CDD partnered with INEC and the National Union of Journalists to train 375 journalists across the 6 geopolitical zones on issues of election. Why on election? Because this election, we have a new electoral act. The beavers have replaced the smart cards. So there are a lot of changes. The election is posing a lot of changes. And for the people that will inform the people, educate the people, entertain the people, they need to be abreast of the changes so as not to lend their work and their hands to the existing fake news that we want to cope. So we did that across the country. Talking about fake news, what makes fake news to thrive in Nigeria? There are a lot of things that make fake news to thrive in Nigeria. My brother from the NBC has talked about lack of strong regulation. Yes, I will say lack of strong regulation in one part, but we need to work, we need to copy, we need to borrow from other countries and sit down. Where are the platforms? You have Facebook, you have Twitter, you have TikTok, you have other platforms that they use in spreading the fake news. Who are the owners of these structures? Nigeria needs to define its own policy. Engage them in what we want. As against shutting down. You can't shut down people for information. Information is like oxygen. So Nigeria needs to decide what it wants. Engage these people on these things. So there are structures that exist. There are institutions that exist. Yeah. So fake news trend in Nigeria because people want to hear the narratives that suit their belief system.
Yes, fake news, we're talking about fake news. But however, there are real news. There are people here, journalists, member of the fourth realms, that are giving us link between the government activities and the public, giving us what happens in our society, what happens in our communities, and we need of course to appreciate them. Of course, as we have, but this is an eye-opener to us that we have a lot of good journalists, fantastic many, numerous, can't count them, that are giving good reports. And of course, there are very few who are giving fake news. And of course, which we are identifying in this situation. It's boils on us to see also that we have so many good police officers. And there are few that are not doing well. So when you have more police officers that err, the whole world will start crying. So the same thing when we have one journalist who has done one thing or the other, giving the fake news, then we have challenges, say, oh, we are doing this. So we cannot see that is how the world operates. We have to turn around and see to correct where we have problem. Where we have anyone coming up with something that is not fair, that is not right, that is not real, that is wrong, we correct, and wherever it is possible, we prosecute and leave it as it is. We cannot bring down the whole body because of one person erring. We cannot bring down the whole police or the whole security agent because of one person erring. The same, we cannot bring down the whole journalists, the whole media people because of just few erring people. I want to close to say that I want to begin with this. This house is Police Communications Committee. We stand between the police and the community. And this is to say that we believe we are in the community. Safety and security of the community is not for the police only, and neither is it for peace housing, but it's for the police and community, and we are all the community together. So we need to collaborate as much as possible for a safer, more secure society, nation. Information that we need to keep, don't let us hide it. Either from whatever side, whatever we need to do to make our community safe, so that your children can go to school, your colleagues can go to work, you can sleep well, you can do whatever. So let us give as much as possible. Of course, there are issues that the information is being divulged one way or the other. But we depend that now with this houses that says you can, technology has made it so that you can cover your number, you can close your number, you can make your number not to show, and you say give information, you can pass information out through whatever form, where even the identity of the person giving the information will not be revealed. People they want to know. So we need to give correct, real, and factual information to our security agencies, to all the people around us, for us to continue to live secure and safely in our community.
And it does remind me of what the last speaker just said about the one bad egg in journalism, the one bad egg in the police force. And of course, there are bad eggs in the legal profession. There are bad eggs in every sphere of the Nigerian society. And I say this to you, the reason why it's important to point out the bad eggs, or that one bad egg in the legal profession, for instance, or the judiciary, or the police force, or in journalism, is too bad to have. It's because these groups of people are the gatekeepers of sanctity in society. So that if you destroy these institutions, or if these institutions go bad, or elements within them go bad, then you find that society itself has gone totally bad. So you can't have a judiciary that is partially bad, or a police force that is partially bad. So it goes to all of us, wherever we see these tendencies, to pump the system of it and say it is bad enough to have one bad person there. Now, I think it's critical for us to understand that news news and information have been critical elements of politics over time in Nigeria. So even in the 1960s, or 50s or 40s, politicians like Kidnap owned their own newspapers. Even MK Abiola later on down the line. And so news and information has always remained a major tool of politics. Now the question is, and people have made references to us having had fake news in the past, but the question I want to ask is, why the predominance? And the one element that people have talked about is financial inducement. And I remember when we were growing up, we were selling newspapers, particularly those days, The Guardian, and people talked a lot about investigative journalism and all of that. But I do wonder whether even the breadth of conventional media space is enough to deal with the menace that can be suffered as a result of fake news. People wake up now and they become bloggers overnight. They don't have some of the tutoring that some of you have. And by the way, I'm sure that we don't have any lazy journalists here. The ones he was talking about are the ones at home. Yeah? And the people who have done some of the things we talk about are not here. But truly, I think that whenever we gather, especially as Nigerians, to have a conversation about our country, we must ask ourselves the critical question of what exactly are we achieving? The things that we've said today, is it the case that the audience and the target don't know about them? Have we said anything new? Is anybody going to live here a changed person? If you're a purveyor of fake news, are you going to suddenly, because you attended this session, become better, despite how laudable the session is? And that is the question we must ask ourselves. And I think that beyond financial inducement, as somebody said earlier on, that beyond financial inducement is about thinking about yourself, thinking about your children, thinking about the future of Nigeria. We certainly need more patriotic people who understand the consequences of their actions.
The area that something that has generated fake news, verbally or locally, to cause disunity, that creates value among the political players altogether. The related to unrooted or fabricated information by a set of people or sects in order to create panic, cause confusion, cause riots, revolt, political demonstrations, and property destruction eventually. It is also known that it's rooted among the minority set of uneducated and common fellows in English and among the people all around. And like other speakers have not mentioned the area of religion and ethnicity by poetry, which are part of the instrument of emotional destabilization among the politicians. The coming election, around that or not, so religious leaders and ethics intentionally create stories rather than reality to make political support and create disharmony among the political players. I want to tell this gathering that somebody made a reference what happened in 1993, and we will go far better to see what happened in 1983 because I was involved, like our new because I am involved. I knew what happened in 1983 about the issue of election that happened in the federal government Nigeria then. As in that in India, the same thing happened 10 years after in the year 1993. Most of us, some of my colleagues know that some of us in the days of the university were praying how we are going to graduate there. So I also want to mention this little point that I call it fake news in limited dimensions. They are not legally determined that fake news does not just ordinarily exist alone. It is like the end result of some instructed and permissive components of the same shared view. We have the likes of, like the FBI, as I said, I salute you, sir, by this of God and none of your familiar. And I made reference to the ARC. ARC, according to the section 37 of the Evidence Act, that is an unrelated statement made otherwise than by a witness, which cannot be factually corroborated. witness nothing to worry about it. So we can present verify that to data or whatever. Then I also talk about what I call unstructured information. Unstructured information, which is any information that has not been truly verified to be true, or is in information theory as fictitious and fail analyze. It is polluted news that tend to distract from the originality and liberal decency.
Fake news is false or misleading information presented as news. Fake news often has the aim of damaging the reputation of a person or an entity. Anyone can create, share, and manipulate information online. With a growing majority of people using online media as a primary source, fake news presents a very huge challenge. On the one hand, democracy thrives because of freely accessible information, which helps us understand political, societal, and economical connections. On the other hand, fake news fosters mistrust and skeptical thinking and hinders discussions on conflict resolution. Social media has now created an environment where anyone with an agenda can publish falsehood as if it is true. More and more social media channels are reacting to demands for improved control measures when it comes to the spreading of fake news. Fake news and misinformation endanger the peace, security, and development of any nation. We are aware of the problem being posed by terrorists, bandits, and kidnappers. The true evil of fake news and misinformation has compared the problem of insecurity. It is therefore imperative for every Nigerian to know that security is the business of every one of us. Terrorists, bandits, and kidnappers must all be exposed and crushed for peace to reign. Fake news creates apprehension, panicking, and disrupt plans, and therefore not good for the nation. A lot of fake news can be damaging, malicious, and even dangerous. For example, publishing a person's private address can put him or her at risk of physical danger. The press should see ourselves as the oxygen of democracy. Freedom of the press is one of the fundamental components of democracy. But the incidence of fake news stresses that freedom across the world, and it constitutes a potential threat to democracy and national unity.
Yeah. So everybody listens here, everybody go ahead. Sherry, my own advice is our government need a lot of things láti ṣe. The security agents have so many things to do also. The citizen have so many things to do too. Our own part as a journalist, as a press, is to do something, verify the information you want to disseminate. That thing is very important. Don't joke with your information, because no matter how, to not send information out, tí information yẹn wà verified, so what cause another problem sí life ńkọ́, because tọ́lọ́pàá bá gbé lórí kíní yẹn wọ́n ò jẹ̀bi. And àwọn èèyàn náà ẹlòmíì lè gbọ́ kó má gbọ́ tó asáré wá bá ẹ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ sà sometimes some people will call me hello sir, something happen at Ojota, something happen at kiniko, what happened there? Wọn ò ní fún yín ní àwọn details, but if you are interested in that story, the only thing you can do is to maybe get a reporter, send them there, let them do the write-up and introduce like 3 or 4 people so that while they understand the story yẹn. But some people will just hear that story from phone when they bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kọ́ when they send their house. So I think we have to do something about that. But ní prolong matter lórí ẹ̀ much. I want everybody to at least abide the rules and regulation of this country, so that ní force the victim àwọn ọlọ́pàá yìí. Thank you so much for watching Facetv Africa. Next time we see. Bye.
Please subscribe to Facetv Africa and turn the notification on. Facetv Africa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, subscribe, hete.
Facetv was Swoby.